What's going on, everybody? This is former Peace Officer Stephen Wiggs of the 16th Ward, Allentown, Pennsylvania State Constable Office, and I just had a few things on my mind that I think I really would like to get off my chest with regards to the New Jersey case. The judge in the case found me guilty for impersonating a police officer, utilizing two Pennsylvania case laws. Now, one of the things that is to be understood is that when judges on a Supreme Court bench make case law in Pennsylvania, they're typically based around what the state laws actually are. Their findings and the wording that they may use can be taken into an account. But in one of the case laws, there was a piece of literature that was thrown in there that identifies the word dicta. The word dicta is a term that's thrown around by lawyers and judges. Most times they are the ones that actually understand that terminology. And this means when a judge is making some type of assessment, they're literally just throwing around or rumbling off. I not long ago explained this to a colleague of mine. So it really doesn't actually set case law in terms of dicta. They're just rumbling off while trying to identify their findings in the case. And this is pretty much what the judge in my case in Essex County, New Jersey, took from a specific case involving the constable's office in Pennsylvania. Now, not to take too much of your time, one of the case laws that they used that the word dicta will describe is called Act 147. And Act 147, this case law was created between 1990 and 1991. This is where the Pennsylvania judicial system tried to establish supervisory authority over the constable's office, and the Supreme Court found it unconstitutional for them to do so because constables in Pennsylvania, like the sheriffs in New Jersey, are elected officials, and therefore they found that it was unconstitutional for the judicial system to supervise the agency and the elected officials. So what the judge in my case focused on that became dicta is a piece of literature that the judge utilized in the case law, and that was the term independent contractor. They took out of its context what it actually meant and used it to fit their agenda to find me guilty. So what did the judge actually mean with regards to the independent contractor terminology? Well, the Pennsylvania State Constable Office is not attached to the judicial system at all. We're under the executive branch and not the judicial branch. So the judge told the courts that at best, the constables are independent contractors serving the court system, identifying that we don't belong to them. We are basically borrowed from the executive branch. So this is allowing it to be known that what the sheriffs get paid to do every day in terms of serving the judicial system in Pennsylvania, the constables can opt out if they so choose to do so, or they could work with them. So nobody's actually making the constables work with the judicial system in Pennsylvania. But what the judge did was he took the uttered wording, the word independent contractor, and they utilized that word to blanket our agency and say that this is not a law enforcement agency because they don't have to serve the judicial system if they don't want to. But they ignored what our actual job in the Commonwealth actually is. And the case law told them what the job is. In the case law, the Supreme Court told the judicial system, and this is what New Jersey ignored, the role of the constable. The Supreme Court told the courts that the constable is charged with the conservation of the peace and states that it's the constable's business to arrest those who violate the peace. They tell the court also that the constable job is to enforce law and carry out just the same as the job of the district attorney, sheriffs, and police generally. Okay? So when you hear the term charged with the conservation of the peace, understand, this is the Supreme Court telling the judicial system that this is the role of the constable in Pennsylvania. And it's telling the court that it's the constable's job in business, you know. And then it gave a footnote. The constable is a police officer. These are the things that the New Jersey courts ignored openly. Okay? Openly ignored in the case law to find me guilty. Okay? They didn't find me guilty using New Jersey law. They found me guilty twisting Pennsylvania law. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring to you the other part of this particular law because I really need you guys to understand this. Okay? In another video. All right? So stay tuned. I'll be right back.